What's up everyone, John from Beyond ARTV. It's time for a brand spanking new episode of 7 on Sunday. Today I am talking about 7, in my opinion, of the most underrated bands of this current decade, the 2010s. The 2010s have been kind of a convoluted time for music. There is so much out there and there are so many bands that could just easily get passed over. Obviously, I've probably missed a ton. Let me know about some I should maybe check out that I don't have on this list. Obviously, with 7 on Sunday, I cannot get to everything, and that's what I can't stress to you guys enough. I see every single week, where is this or where was that? I've only got 7 to work with, and I try to make it fair and just spread it out across different genres and different things that I'm really loving and interesting. I try not to do the same bands every single week, so I hope you understand that maybe I can't quite get every single band or else every single artist on every episode of 7 on Sunday. Unfortunately, there's way too many to do that. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this, and don't forget that my promotion with Symbol, my giveaway, is still going on. Make sure you grab the app, download it, it'll be linked in the description. We have upped the ante on the giveaway. We're not only giving away the 1975 and Green Day vinyl, but we are also giving away a pair of Sony headphones. So if you would like to check that out, all you have to do is follow me on the app and you're eligible to win. ARTV is the username. Let's kick off the countdown.
If so, we know we'll be coming. If so, we know we'll be coming.
Now, these picks aren't really going to be in any particular order. I'm not trying to say that one band is more underrated than the other, so it's just going to be a list here. Don't try to put it in any specific order. That being said, my first pick up on the chopping block today is an Australian alternative duo called Atlas Genius. I got into these guys late 2012 with their song Trojans. Their album When It Was Now came out in 2013, I believe in January or February, and it really caught my ear. I started listening to these guys. I got into some of the cuts like Backseat, obviously Trojans, If So, that clip that I just played there for you guys. It was super infectious, and I thought that the album overall was great. Everything from its title track to the singles to some of the deep cuts as well. It had emotion, it had guitars, electronics, kind of like a new wave or else alternative feel. And then they fired back in 2015 with a record Inanimate Objects that wasn't quite as great overall. I thought the lead-off single Molecules was fantastic. The Spry synthesizer on that thing that just kept looping, and the vocals on it were super catchy. Kind of had that bass breakdown where it just kind of like snap your fingers. It has such a good vibe. And there were other moments on there that just kind of blew me away. Some of my absolute favorites being moments like Friends with Enemies, and like I said, the single Molecules, Stockholm, Refugee. It just kept going on. So it was kind of hit and miss, but overall I feel like these guys are super talented. They have a knack for the guitar and just coming up with a really catchy melody, and the vocalist is insanely talented as well. I really hope to catch these guys live sometime if they do come through the US again sometime soon. I think they might be out on tour now. I'm gonna have to look into that and hopefully I can catch them. You guys should definitely check them out. Throwing out the first punch for Nothing More. I love this band. I really got into their self-titled album, and while they were active for years, they had a lot of lineup changes, they had a singer change, they changed up some roles in the band, and they really got their footing and put out their most recent album in 2013. It was re-released on, I believe it was 11/7 Music in 2014, and they finally have a new album just around the corner at this point. But whenever I heard their self-titled album in 2013, 2014, it just really left a lasting impression on me. In fact, Ballast, This Is the Time, hit #1 on my best songs of the year just a few years back, and the album was one of my favorites of that year as well. 2014 just had some good stuff to offer, and this was one of those. I really got into cuts like Mr. MTV and The Matthew Effect. Holy shit. Their lead singer Johnny just doesn't seem afraid to call people out whatsoever. He's calling people on their shit. He's calling out greedy corporations collaborations, labels, etc. And I love the flow that this album has in general. They were able to craft something that just transcended so much of heavy music, especially stuff that's getting played on the radio. It's just like the same old shit over and over again a lot of the time. This doesn't feel recycled at all. In fact, it feels anything but stale, especially with longer songs like Jenny, which was about his sister and some struggles that she went through, and then God Went North. Holy shit, talk about an impactful tune. These guys have to be on your radar. They're making so many good songs, everything from Christ Copyright to the Matthew Effect and I'll Be Okay. They just kind of go back and forth between some of the slower moments that build up, have kind of a brooding effect, and some of the ones that just smash you in the face. Temples are a UK-based psychedelic band who have most recently stepped their feet into the territory of psychedelic pop, a la Tame Impala. I just did a review of their album on my ARTV channel if you guys are curious on full detailed thoughts on their newest album that I really, really dig. I do hope that you guys will check out Volcano, even their debut album Sun Structures. If you're into older styles of music like the 60s and the 70s, it'll probably click with you pretty quickly. I can just describe it best as like a mashup of Tame Impala meets the Beatles, because he seriously channels some John Lennon styled vocals on some of these moments. Easy highlights early on for me were Move with the Seasons and even Shelter Song off of their debut album. And while at first I'll admit that it took some time to really grow on me, for it to settle in and for me to get the vibe of it, by the time their second record came out, I was singing along to some of these tracks just like I had known them for the longest time. I Wanna Be Your Mirror is just sweet, sultry, everything. It's got a little bit of ecstasy for everyone. It makes the best of this flute melody, mixes that with guitars, some higher pitched falsetto vocals that not all bands can pull off, but Temples seem to do it flawlessly. Stranger Be Forgotten is another huge one that I think people are really going to be drawn to. I think that could be a breakout single for the band, and some other deep cuts really show that they have staying power. The lyrical content that they just come up with is very strange, exploratory, what you would expect for the psychedelic tendencies. It's something that I just enjoy because it's kind of like a reflection on life. And if you're into that, and if that sounds interesting to you, you have to check out Temples.
It's all the same. It's time to confront this face to face. I'll be with you the whole way. It'll take time. That's fact. I'm not just another face. I'm not just another name.
I know I've talked about modern baseball a lot lately, but I feel like these guys really need our love right now just because Brendan Lukens, one of their lead singers, is going through a lot of heavy emotional stuff and depression right now, and I feel like some positive vibes need to be sent his way. It's one of those things where I feel like they could be on the verge of breaking up, but I really hope that that's not the case. They had to cancel their tour, and they also had to pull out of Boston Calling Music Festival apparently because they're no longer on the bill, and they're one of the reasons that I bought tickets for that. Me and my girlfriend Hannah were so excited to see modern baseball, but unfortunately I understand why they're doing it. It's unfortunate, but mental health comes first. Modern baseball play kind of a blend of emo, alternative, even some pop punk elements as well. I was first drawn to them with their song Apartment. I think that was the one that really got me. Rock Bottom was another great one, and I've stuck with them all the way up to their newest song from their split that they did. This song is gonna buy Brendan Lukens a brand new pair of socks, which was a fascinating, fervent tune. Their last record, Holy Ghost, is unmistakable, and even You're Gonna Miss It All is one that I picked up on vinyl just because it's short, sweet, it's like only a half hour or less, but the music is so much fun, and it's also very emotional and relatable. It's like they pack in all these details that maybe you don't expect from a band like that. And on Holy Ghost, their most recent album, there are some ones that really tug at you. I mean, sure, you've got the more upbeat stuff like Wedding Singer, but if you listen to the final song on the album, Just Another Face, you really see the emotional weight of what this dude is dragging around with him. And whenever you can get to know a band like that, that is when you really get emotionally attached and involved.
Take me to the paradise in your eyes, green like American money.
I know this next one isn't technically a band, but Garrett Borns is damn talented, and it sounds like he's a band. I mean, he does a lot of the instrumentals himself. It's kind of like an alternative rocky type feel, kind of a glossy production, but at the same time, he does it with an older influence. A lot of these songs sound older, like Electric Love. It sounds like it could have come from the 70s easily with those vocal melodies, the harmonies on the track, and then he breaks into some other stuff that's a little bit more exploratory and experimental on like American Money or 10,000 Emerald Pools. I don't normally play just some random person that I found on Sirius XM, like Alt Nation. I don't normally connect to it so much, but this clearly has a lot more to it than some of those bands that are just in it for, you know, a couple of singles here and there. They put it on an album. It's not all that interesting whatsoever. Borns is the opposite of that. You guys know I had to talk about my loves, Wolf Alice. I've got right on my shelf right here, thanks to my girlfriend who bought me the box set. That is the little photo album from it, and right down below that, I've got the entire vinyl box set with all of their EPs and everything. Whenever I fell for this band, I fell hard. They play kind of a grungy influenced 90s kind of inspired rock, and I know that that's kind of a weird way to maybe describe them because it's like modern meets old. Their lead singer, Ellie Rosell, has an incredible voice. Some of the songs that they do live are just haunting, and I got to see them live about a year ago in a very intimate setting. I was very close to the stage, and I totally felt like I was really into the show, a big part of it. Theo, the rest of the band, Jeff, everybody was killing it. It sounded so good, and I really felt like I was just a part of the album, and it made me so happy because My Love Is Cool, their debut album by the UK rockers, just stuck with me so much. In fact, it was my favorite record of 2015. And then I went back and checked out some of their older songs like Blush and Storms, and I realized that these guys weren't just a one-hit wonder or one album wonder. They had been killing it for a while, and I had somehow just gotten on board. I randomly stumbled across them one day looking on NPR's music blog. They had posted Giant Peach from My Love Is Cool. I checked out Bros, and I was instantly in love. I was like, okay, I've been looking for more female-fronted bands. This is fucking awesome. Where do I get more music? Found out they had an album coming out in June and ended up giving it a perfect 5 out of 5 after just falling for it. I felt straight. It was like a nosedive off, and I was like, I will follow this band wherever they go. Finally, we get to my final pick, Young the Giant. Currently signed to Fueled by Ramen, this alternative rock band first put out an album on Roadrunner Records in 2010, and that's whenever I got into them. I heard the song Cough Syrup right after I heard My Body. I think I heard those back to back after just clicking around on YouTube, and I was like, sign me up for more of this, please. I need more of this style of rock in my life. Their lead singer, Samir Gadia, is incredibly talented, one of my absolute favorite vocalists in just modern times and really of all time, just because his voice is so smooth and the lyrics that he puts with it are very poetic sometimes. It's just like, listen to Apartment, for example. There's so many lines on there that I could just pick and pull off of there, and I was like, you know, I wouldn't mind having that tattooed somewhere on me, or I just need something hanging on my wall that says that. I mean, who is poetic like this? Okay, maybe I'm overselling them just a bit, but I really do hope that you guys will check out Young the Giant. They're such a good rock band that just have great lyrics, especially for a band that gets like radio play sometimes, especially in alternative markets. Just look at their last album, Home of the Strange. I mean, it had so many great songs, even Silver Tongue, one that's kind of meant to be a party song that I showed you guys a little clip of right there. Did that sound great? Yeah, that's one of their most poppy songs to date, but at the same time, it has great lyrical content on it. Just look at Jungle Youth, or Titus Was Born, or Repeat, or listen to some of their In the Open sessions. They are phenomenal. They are insanely talented musicians. They can come together, make an album, and it all sounds connected, even though the songs are very different. Just look at America compared to Nothing's Over, more of a dance-ready track compared to an airy one. They just have a little bit of everything, and Home of the Strange, especially, I feel like is their best album to date. They're only getting better with time. Guys, this might be it for my list, but I know that there's a lot of other underrated bands in the 2010s. These aren't the only ones that I think are underrated, obviously. I had a list list of like 25 that I had to pare down to 7, and obviously I would be open to doing another video like this sometime in the future if you guys are interested in it. Be sure to leave me a like on the video today, comment some of the most underrated bands in your opinion of the 2010s, and let me know what you would like to see on future episodes of 7 on Sunday. Don't forget to download Simple on the App Store. It's linked in the description down below. Follow me, ARTV. Once I get to 5,000 followers, we're giving away headphones, sweatshirt, and vinyl. You can find me on Twitter and other social media linked in the description. A couple of other recent videos right here. And if you'd like to help out the videos on Patreon, click the link in the corner. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon.